Gender matters everywhere in the world, and I would like today to ask, as we begin to dream about and plan for a different world, a fairer world, a world of happier men and happier women who are truer to themselves. This is how we start. We must raise our daughters differently. We must also raise our sons differently. We do a great disservice to boys in how we raise them. We stifle the humanity of boys. We define masculinity in a very narrow way. Masculinity is a hard, small cage, and we put boys inside this cage. We teach boys to be afraid of fear, of weakness, of vulnerability. We teach them to mask their true selves because they have to, in Nigerian speak, be a hard man. We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you will threaten the man. If you are the breadwinner in your relationship with a man, pretend you are not, especially in public. Otherwise, you will emasculate him. I was not worried at all. It had not even occurred to me to be worried, because a man who would be intimidated by me is exactly the kind of man I have no interest in. We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they are already guilty of something. And so girls grow up to be women who cannot say they have desire, who silence themselves, who cannot say what they truly think, who have turned pretense into an art form. Imagine how much happier we would be, how much freer to be our individual selves if we did not have the weight of gender expectations. What if, in raising children, we focus on ability instead of gender? What if we focus on interest instead of gender? Culture does not make people. People make culture. If it is true that the full humanity of women is not in our culture, then we can and must make it our culture. What is a feminist? A feminist is a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes. I often make the mistake of thinking that something that is obvious to me is just as obvious to everyone else.